about artificial intelligence. And Martin.
Technology, the one thing that is important about it is that we pre-train all of our neural networks on a very, very large set of documents. You heard about deep learning. Deep learning really needs a lot of documents, and we're very lucky and fortunate that we have a lot of R&D collaborators who have donated a large number of documents, so 25 million documents, which we think is one of the largest document stores of its type. So we have, this is our machine reading platform. We really have three main capabilities: classification, information extraction, and matching. And I'm just going to give you some examples of how we use this technology to automate various business processes. And the key thing here is that in everything I'm going to talk about, the text data that we look at, it could be in the form of machine-readable text, so it could be an email or a website, but it can also be non-machine-readable text, so like images, scanned documents, PDFs. You get the picture. So this first example is an automation of some KYC processes in a bank. You've probably seen this statistic before. This is from Europol in 2017. They estimate that of the billions of dollars of profits that go through the international banking system via professional money launderers, only about 1% is actually detected by the banks. 99% of it just goes straight through. So there's a problem. And I mean, it's not like the banks are not trying, right? There are these very cumbersome know your customer processes, these KYC processes, which are very document intensive. You tend to find hundreds, if not thousands, of people in banks manually going through these document-intensive processes. It takes loads of time. Humans are not very accurate at this kind of work, so they make mistakes. And obviously, it's really expensive for the banks. We try to help this process. And our overall perspective on this is that if we can try and automate some of the really, really easy problems, so the problems which don't require a lot of cognitive capability, then the humans can do what they're good at, which is the investigative work and the much more creative work. So this is just I'm going to show you some examples of the kinds of things that we automate. This is an application form for a business banking account. This is a case where the person applying for the business banking account they've said a contradiction. They've said in one place on the form, international payments, 0. We're not making any international payments. But then somewhere else, they're talking about importing antiques from China. So clearly, they have to be making international payments. It's a contradiction. They're probably not a criminal, but using a traditional manual approach, the KYC analyst is going to have to spend some time figuring out what's going on, maybe calling the customer and asking them to clarify. It's going to take a lot of time. It's time wasted, we think. This is another really simple example. This person, they claim they have an annual turnover of 45,000. But they also say they have a weekly revenue of £2,000. So this is the kinds of things that using machine learning, you can detect this kind of contradiction. This is donkey work, right? Humans are not fighting for this work. It's really boring work. It's not demanding and it's not creative. This is another example. Another really important aspect of the KYC process is just for business banking, is making sure that the business is not dealing with any sanctioned nations. So, China is a sanctioned nation, but China is also a common English word. You need to make sure by reading the text that you're not just using some kind of keyword-based approach, because obviously you'd have loads of false positives because of things like bone china, china plates, and things like this, Chinese restaurants. So this slide is really supposed to indicate that machine learning takes us a little bit further. We can't really claim that machine learning now has the same level of comprehension as a human being, but it is possible to build machine learning models which can distinguish between these two cases. So obviously the first case here should be ignored. It's about bone china, and the second case is about exporting animals to China, which should be flagged and perhaps looked into. I want to talk about something which is a little bit different, which is something that we're really interested in at the moment, which is extracting information from, in this case, invoices, but actually this is just an example. It could be any document type. And now we're starting to look at non-machine readable text. So it's not just a nice email or a nice Word document. We're now looking at images. scanned images normally or PDFs. Invoices are really challenging, and this is something, the capture of data from invoices